what do you do with this information in your everyday life? And I know for myself, I mean, when I first started this research, maybe close to 10 years ago, I got pretty deep in that rabbit hole, and it got really challenging. Actually, I went through a couple of years of like a deep depression and paranoia, to be honest, with just like what in the hell could possibly happen. All these variables, all these possibilities of just everything, whether it's a pole shift to other ways in which civilization could crumble before our very eyes, and all this kind of stuff. It was very much an apocalyptic kind of energy in those years, and not a fun place to be on a consistent basis. I'll tell you that. So I had to really take a step back for a bit and recognize that all this knowledge is simply it's knowledge, it's information, and just like the news is information to a degree, it's all everything's information. Whether it's true or false is also that's also a debate of so much complexity. It's really just what everything we receive in this reality is information, which is why we're here. We're here to experience everything because everything has value. Everything has value for this source of consciousness, which we are extensions of, experiencing ourselves in this unique way. All of it's important. We want to take it all in, right? But a way to navigate it with maybe a little bit more peace and a little bit more, joy and playfulness is to, for me at least, what I've had to do is just acknowledge that all of this amazing stuff we've been talking about is absolutely possible. Anything's possible. And so, with that same mindset, everything we just talked about and all these potential demises of civilization or something is just a possibility. It's just one branch in the timeline. Anyone that comes to you with predictions is literally just giving you an option of a timeline that we have to experience in this life. So nothing's really truly set, and also nothing is really truly, out of your, not want to say control. A lot of life is out of our control to an extent, but what we absolutely have full control over is our perception of that reality. And when you
Yeah.
can shift your perception, that's when you can shift everything in your reality. So even though you could be looking at a world of chaos, when you're looking at it through love and through gratitude and joy and still a sense of connectivity to everything and play, you can look at like how many times, like what I love about things like British comedy is the darkness of their comedy. They make jokes about death all the time. A lot of great comedy comes from the most horrific suffering sides of life when you can put a spin of laughter. Like, why do we even laugh as a species? What is the point of all that? And you see things like the Laughing Buddha, that some of the most ascended masters had the most beautiful sense of humor for the most dark things. And I think
Right.
that's part of it. It's like you can choose to look at everything as like utter suffering and chaos and meaninglessness, or you can look at it as a beautiful reflection of where we might be collectively, which is in a state of, and I know this is what I think Robert Edward Grant was saying in that video you sent me, um, which is a fantastic podcast. We should probably put links to it in the show notes, probably for
Yeah.
people to follow up
Yeah.
on.
It's
And what
it's
it,
just
it's
extraordinary.
just it's just so good. And what was he saying? He says that really, when you think about it, if you're looking at how divided and how angry we are as a collective right now, all that is showing you how divided and angry you are at yourself and at
Right.
your internal world. It's all a reflection.
Right.
And so if all you're seeing right now is suffering and chaos and meaningless and just violence and just horrific meaninglessness, basically, then that is a cue for you to go
Right.
inward and examine what's really going on within yourself, because it's all the same, as above, so below.
So, thank you, Principle of Correspondence. Um, and it reminds me of that most people live their life because they have to see in order to believe. And yet it is the opposite. We have to believe in order to see. And that belief system of, I'm interested in taking responsibility for my reality right now. And even just a little bit, I tell, clients all the time, just take a baby step, just take a baby step. And if we can take these little baby steps and say, you know what, maybe I'm not seeing this argument with my spouse or my upset about whatever, my car having a flat tire, or I could see it in a different light, we start to see changes in our reality. And it's that stone's throw, it's the pebble in the still pond. What are the ripples? The ripples are our experiences. I want to have a joyful life. I want to wake up every day going, what, and I got this from you. What magic and miracles are going to show up in my life today? What a wonderful way of waking up. Not, oh my God, I'm going to check my phone. I got to see what's on, social media. I'm exhausted. I'm not happy. I don't like my job. I don't like my relate. Whatever we think, we're going to get. And so this whole believing is in our seeing. And as soon as we make a commitment to something that we really want and we keep our focus in that, I think that it shows up this or something better. It's always this or something better. But it takes courage, right? To go beyond the borders of the unknown or the known into the unknown. And it takes a leap of faith. And look, we're surrounded by religion where people believe, but how do people believe in themselves? And I am a believer of when we find ourselves and our love, not just who we think we are, but all of us, ourself, everything that we've experienced in life, then love shows up all the time. Love is magical in that way.